Here at the airport of Sofia, going to the Netherlands, this sandwich currently is like 6.5 euros. Favorite restaurant, Greek restaurant, Gyosio Bakken with Käse. I've been coming here for 20 years with my family. Cheers.
Niks hè?
Leuk zo hoor.
Gaan we dus nou, smakelijk joh.
Smakelijk. This is actually my city of Tiel, where I was born and raised. Lived here for like 20 years. Here I'm with my parents again, going to cross the river with our bikes. Here's an old abandoned Dutch sanatorium where my grandma has been hospitalized for 2 years with TBC, tuberculosis. Back in the day, like, what, 8 years ago. She was there for 2 years. And now it's abandoned. Here with my father, exploring a bit.
Zei jij te zeuren dat je daar een paar weken moet zitten? Mijn moeder heeft hier 2 jaar gelegen en dan ben je 25 jaar.
Waar? Oh ja. How's it going, guys? Flying to the Netherlands today. And next week to Spain for work. Let's go. Right, again in the lounge of Sofia Airport. Have like 2 hours before the flight to the Netherlands, so time for lunch. Alright. How's it going? This is Leon from Tiel in the Netherlands, and this right here, I rarely film here actually, but this is actually my hometown. This is essentially where I grew up, spent my whole childhood, like 20 years, minus some. So here's the train station. It's a city of 40-something thousand people, and this is the Netherlands, as you can obviously judge by the sea of bikes right here. So from this station we have trains to Leiden through Utrecht, as well as Arnhem, where I used to live. Right, so we have trains both west, northwest and east. Right, so it's a pretty small station, just 2 lines, but around that here's where I used to pass each day on my way to school. Just go up right here on my bike, and school would be somewhere in the back, right? So yeah, let's go, I guess. So here's the rolling stock trains, often dirty. Probably expensive as well, but still sort of modern. That's the fun, I guess. Quick toilet check. Obviously the graffiti on the door is not part of the original. I think that one is. Country is in slow decay. Arriving in the city of Utrecht, which is the city where I spent my student years. Essentially I studied here for 3 years with some interruptions abroad where I went to internships. So here we are, one missed city. Station building itself is pretty good after major renovations, like what, 6-7 years ago. It is the biggest transport hub in the whole country for railway and probably car transport as well. Bigger in Amsterdam even. So you get trains all over. No, it wouldn't be my country if there wasn't some parade with a rainbow flag going out. Or some other flags I don't recognize. In any case, this is Utrecht. This is, by the way, one of the most crowded bike lanes in the whole of the country because, well, it's the biggest station, right? And people just passing by bike all the time. So it's basically a highway for bikes. See, pretty wide alley and buses on the left. So you can cross here, but it's a little bit scary, especially if it's busy during rush hour. Keeping in mind that today is Saturday, so it's not very crowded, but there's always traffic passing through. See, so you just pretty much walk in between the bikes, and they probably won't stop, but they'll just go around you. So you have bikes in all kinds of ways, like with kids on the front and back. People literally transport anything by bike, which I think is a great thing, and we've, as such people said, the world standard on bikes, definitely. Right, so here we are. It's the continuation of the same street, right? So we have a lot of bikes and buses, no other traffic. We've got our inclusive zebra right there. And then, right on the right of the main boutique shops in the country, which is called the Bijenkorf, which is basically the bee's nest. It's what it's that's what it means. And if we go throughout the street right here, all the way in the end, that's where my university used to be, a private university where I studied for 3 years. So the wealthy people in my country, at least during the Middle Ages and such, or slightly after, like 16 to 1800, which is not exactly the Middle Ages, but either way, 17th century, let's say, they used to be buried inside a church, in any church, if they were wealthy at least. Like the not so wealthy people would be buried outside and around. But you find tombstones inside the churches, and see, this for example says the entrance to this cellar or this crypt, let's say, is of so and so. And you find people buried here from many centuries ago. And you used to be only able to get these plots, right, if you were very, very wealthy. And it would sort of smell back in the day because you had, you know, bodies underneath the tiles. Now many people have walked all over it, and it's sort of you have better examples than these with huge and more cryptic tombstones, but still it's quite impressive. And it used to sort of smell when people were inside the church, and that's why rich people, wealthy people, even to this day, a bit of a derogatory term you can call them is in Dutch rijke stinkert, which means a rich smelly guy. That basically comes from here. Nowadays it doesn't really refer to smell, but just like sort of term like, oh, that rich fella, like, you know, interesting, isn't it? And it's like old Dutch, you know, you can see it in the letters. Bartholomeus van Vleuten. And I cannot understand it obviously because it's my language, but it's different than how we write nowadays. It is all just extremely old. Gorgeous, isn't it? Netherlands has a ton of very impressive churches, ton of old history that I never really appreciated when I lived here, but now I do. It's all different when you move abroad. So just passed by my university to see what it's like nowadays. It's essentially the exact same. That right there is the private university where I studied for those 3 years. This is already over 10 years ago. So yeah, right after pretty much I worked in the Netherlands, or I first did a 3-month solo trip, worked in the Netherlands a bit, and then moved abroad to Bulgaria. It's quite a long time ago, so It's always interesting to come back to the city, see where I have some of my roots. I wouldn't say I miss it quite a ton, like I wasn't really myself during this time. I was still a bit discreet, just growing up. Not confident yet, but now it's all different. It's a really old water tower up there, pumping the water throughout the neighborhoods. Used to be common all over the country, some destroyed, but some still standing. They are national monuments, so it cannot be tainted with, but often you'll find people living in them nowadays. They just are unable to do anything, pretty much, right, to the appearance. How's it going? It is Leon from Amsterdam in the Netherlands. I'm in the Radisson Amsterdam South Hotel right here. This is my room for one night. Tomorrow I'm going on a business trip to Madrid in Spain, so essentially a work trip. Just came from my parents, they dropped me off. And I want to spend a night in Amsterdam right here, just relaxing. And tomorrow it's off to Spain. Things could be worse. I look forward to seeing my colleagues. I've spent some time with my family, and will be just a few days in Madrid, then back to Sofia from there. And then it's just like 60 days until I move to Warsaw. Again, don't know when I'll upload this, but by now it is, what is it now? It is October 2024. So I'm going to enjoy Amsterdam, and I'll catch you later. Now, hotel rooms in Amsterdam are crazy expensive, right? It can go, this would probably cost 180, 250 euros a night, right? But I collected a lot of points through Revolut. I have Revolut Ultra, and collecting points sometimes gets you a nice reward, right? And a discount. So this, all in all, it cost me 50 euros, excluding breakfast only, which is pretty much a steal in this country, right? And it's a very decent room. So I'm going to enjoy this a lot. Right, waiting for the Uber to get to the airport, and then it's time to start my work trip to Madrid in Spain. Let's go. And here we are in the lounge of Schiphol Airport. A decent lounge, would rate it a 6 or 5.5 out of 10. Beats the one in Sofia, but still could be slightly improved. Food is decent though.
Manteniéndolos en modo avión. Únicamente está permitido activar el modo Wi-Fi para conectarse y disfrutar del sistema de entretenimiento a bordo Club Express on board.